Last week, we talked about the best pocket everyday carry flashlights that Olight has to offer. So this week, we thought it made sense to go over all of our new tail switch options, going all the way from a AAA tiny tail switch light to a massive thrower just like this Javelot Pro. And before we start talking about all of these tail switch lights, I do want to give one away. So to celebrate the fact that the Warrior X Pro just recently came out, I'm going to give one of these away at the end of next week. All you have to do to enter to win is make sure you're subscribed to this channel, like this video, and put one comment down below. I will pick the winner at the end of next week, so please tell your friends about this. Let's start the video. To talk about all of our tail switch options, let's start from the smallest ones and go all the way to the biggest. So we have the i3T right here, AAA battery tail switch light, and then the brand new i5T, which is a AA battery tail switch light.
One of my favorite things about this light is how small and compact it is. It's super lightweight, it fits in my pockets great, and it's super easy to clip onto my purse strap or a backpack. It's super versatile. It's one of my favorites.
Also on both of these lights, it has that really cool twist milling pattern, which I'm a really big fan of, something that I've never even seen in the flashlight industry before. The i3T actually was the first one that we did it on, and then we did it even more in depth on this new i5T version here, and this one particularly has the blue inside swirl as well. The tail switch specifically on the i3T and i5T also is really tactile. It has these nice little dimples on the industrial grade silicone to make it where you're not going to slip off of that tail switch even if your hands are wet. It also has really nice pressure as well, so you're getting some really nice feedback when you're pressing it down, whether you want to press it down halfway for momentary, or you can press it down all the way and make it click for a constant on. Let's now take a look at the differences in performance from the i3T to the i5T. I'm going to go ahead and shine the i3T AAA battery. This is the least powerful one. So here it is on the low mode, just to give you an idea. And then I'll shine it on the high mode, and it really is an impressive beam for a AAA battery little light here, especially for the price point as well. Now that you have a good look of that, I'll go ahead and shine the i5T, which is the new AA light. So there it is on low mode, still extremely low, and then we'll shine it there on high, and you can see just the beam profile itself is larger, and also that beam intensity kind of fading to the outer edge is larger as well. The next biggest lights in the tail switch lineup from Olight is the original M2R and the brand new M2R Pro. Now these are actually the first stainless steel tail switch lights that we've ever made, and that stainless steel tail switch allows you to not only use the light from the tail switch and have it not wear out like a rubber switch will over time, but also you can actually charge the light through the tail switch with the included magnetic charging cable.
It does have the dual direction pocket clip with 2 spots on the light to put that pocket clip. So if you want a deep pocket carry with the bezel down, you can do that, or opposite way, whatever you guys prefer. You got 2 spots.
Also, not only does it have the stainless steel tail switch, but it does have a side switch as well on both versions here. So that allows you to use it in a fist grip for tactical applications, but also you can just use it as a standard flashlight for if you're walking the dog, and you'll be able to actually go through all of the different settings. And there's actually over 6 settings on this light, including a strobe mode as well. Now the key differences between the original M2R and the M2R Pro is that the new M2R Pro comes with a 5,000 milliamp 21700 battery for increased run times over the previous 18650 battery, which is 3500 milliamps. Also, on the new M2R Pro, it's going to have the metal tail switch that is actually higher up, so it's much easier to use with gloves or if your hands are dirty or wet. But it still is able to do a tail stand and charge magnetically with our magnetic charging cable because it has these 3 points right here, which makes it level. So that's a great way to use the light as well.
The biggest difference between these 2 lights are the beam patterns and the intensity. Let's check out those patterns now.
So here is the original M2R. So you're getting a very cool white style beam in the very center, and then it kind of fades out, but you can see the actual beam itself is ginormous on this light. It's pretty crazy how big like the corona is and just how far it fades out to where you don't see the light anymore. And hopefully you can see the very outer edges there and just how massive this entire beam profile is. Okay, so now let's go ahead and take a look at the M2R Pro, which is a much tighter beam profile. You're getting a lot less on the outer edges of the beam itself, but you can see the intensity in the very center there is a lot more than the original M2R. So that just means you're going to get a lot more beam distance with this, and also you're going to get less kind of flood going to the outer edges of the beam. So it just depends on what kind of beam you're looking for. I definitely prefer this more intense, nicer hue type beam from the M2R Pro, but just keep in mind, you know, the M2R there is going to have a more cooler white style beam, almost like a bluish tone to it, and then it'll have a much larger outside area from the hotspot itself. Up next, we're getting into the thrower category with the Warrior X and the brand new Warrior X Pro. Now the Warrior X is one of our most popular tactical lights, not only because of this awesome design, but the fact that the beam is a thrower style. So you're gonna get a really high intensity, tighter style beam compared to the M2R or M2R Pro.
Now, the tail switch on the Warrior X is actually the same as the M2R Warrior, and the Pros are also the same as well on both lights.
So with the Pro version, you're getting that extended actual switch. So again, it's a lot easier to use with gloves or if your hands are wet. Also, again, it has those little points going around the switch to make it level to allow you to tail stand it and still be able to use our magnetic charging system, which does come with the light.
Now, the Warrior X Pro did get an upgrade, and we are running the 21700 battery instead of the 18650 like in the regular Warrior X.
That increases the run time significantly. On the 300 lumen setting low mode, you're going from 4.7 hours of run time all the way to 8 hours on the new Warrior X Pro. So over 3 hours more of run time. That is significant.
All right, guys, let's go check out the beams.
So the differences here isn't too big, especially on camera. So I'd highly suggest trying to see this comparison in person if you can. Maybe you have a friend or something like that with a Warrior X Pro or Warrior X. Maybe you have both, but in the video it's kind of hard to tell. So here is the Warrior X Pro, and you can see this is definitely a thrower style light. If you did not know that about the Warrior X, it's known as basically a tactical thrower. So you have a really nice tight hotspot there, and then really nice uniform surrounding light. I think this is a really good looking beam, and that's one of the reasons why the Warrior X originally was so popular. So now let's shine the Warrior X Pro, and you can see on camera it's really hard to tell the difference. Hopefully if you pause it or go back a little bit, you can see the intensity of the Warrior X Pro is more, but I'll put them together here. So here's the Warrior X on the left, Warrior X Pro on the right. And here in person, looking at it on the wall, yes, the center hotspot is more intense here on the right, and hopefully you can make it out on camera. But there isn't a huge difference with the beams themselves, I'd say, just by this quick comparison. But when you factor in the significant increased run times with the Warrior X Pro, 21700 battery, way better tail switch and heat management, you're looking at, you know, a way better package overall with the Warrior X Pro. Also, the new Warrior X Pro features a 3-meter drop test rating, which means that this thing is super heavy duty and robust. Please check out our torture test after this video on this channel, where you can see all of the crazy things that we did to these destroyed Warrior X Pros. For the finale, we have the Javelot Pro. This is the ultimate thrower to add to your collection and the longest beam distance Olight that we have to offer. It has over 1,000 meters of beam distance, so if you're looking for a super tight beam that goes a really long distance, this is the light for you. It features a stainless steel tail switch similar in design to the M2R and Warrior X, so it does work with our magnetic charging system as well, and it does have a side switch in case you want to use it in a standard grip orientation. I'm a big fan of the design of the handle. That super deep aggressive milling not only gives you a really great grip, but it looks really cool as well. So now let's go ahead and take a look at this really impressive beam, and you'll see why you need to add one of these to your collection. So here it is on the wall, and showing it on the wall is kind of pointless because this is a distance light, but at least you get an idea of how the hotspot looks and the surrounding light. Really nice uniform type beam, but I will go ahead and swing to the right here and shine it down as far as I can. So there's some trees definitely really far away from here, and I am hitting it no problem. One of my favorite things about the Javelot Pro is really anything you shine it on, you are going to see clearly. So this is just a really fun light to have. You may need to use it for, you know, the type of business that you do, things like that, but I think the majority of people getting these Javelot Pros is just to have a light that can do something that all their other lights can't do. This throw is incredible, over 1,000 meters, and I will swing it back to the side of the building here. And it's just a really nice, awesome beam. There's a reason why we've sold so many of these, and it's just because you can just not get enough of that awesome beam.
Thank you guys so much for checking out this video.
Yeah, I think this was perfect timing for a tail switch video, considering that we just came out with 2 new options as well, such as this Warrior X Pro
And the i5T.
So again, please subscribe to this channel, like this video, and put 1 comment down below, and you can enter to win this Warrior X Pro at the end of next week.
Alright guys, that's a wrap. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in next week's video.
See ya.